Hi there, I'm Miriam and welcome to Miriam's Manor. Today, you guys, I am excited to bring to you another waterfall tutorial. Now, for my new people who have just found me, this is for you because I've done a lot of these in the past, but instead of you searching through a whole list of over 100 videos, I thought I would do another one for this season for my folks who have already been with me for a while. You still want to watch this video because I added another step, an additional technique in this process. So there's still more to learn. So if that's what you want to see, stay tuned and I'll see you on the other side. All right, so it has been a little while since I have made a waterfall for you guys on my channel. So this is really going to be for you new folks who are just getting started and maybe don't feel like scrolling through the super long list of Christmas Village tutorials. So I am going to make a waterfall from this base. Now, this part is for you old school folks who have been with me for a while because you have seen me make waterfalls. However, this is the first time that I've decided to carve one into the rocks like this. My waterfall is actually going to sit within this inset that I cut out here. So what I am going to be doing is still using the same products, the water effects from Woodland Scenics. I'm going to curve this a little bit differently today because my opening here is about 4 inches wide. And not only that, it goes in deeper here. So I need to create it like a U shape when I make it. But then it kind of narrows down to about 1.5 inches here. So I am going to make this waterfall 5 inches wide at the top, 2 inches wide at the bottom, so that I can add an extra 1/2 inch to 1 inch for shrinkage so that everything will fit the way I want. And I'll also be making this about 5 inches long because you can always cut off excess. It's a lot harder to make it longer once you've already made it, or wider or more narrow. So that is the plan for that. I have my silicone mat here and we are just going to get started by putting the measuring tape here. And I'm just going to start wide here at the top and make my markers. I'm going to start from the middle of those 2 dots, go down to the 5 marker. And then I know that I want it 2 inches wide down below here. So now that I've got everything marked, I'm just going to begin to draw out my lines from the outside first and then fill everything else in. Now, don't forget, I do need to make this a little bit deeper in this middle section here to account for that longer space. So I'm just going to do a little arch like that and then fill it in. All right, now this should definitely be good enough. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 3 toothpicks. I like to use toothpicks. You can use any sharp object you have to do this though. I try to keep them very narrowly spaced like this, and then just come in and make lines within the resin. Now, one thing that you do want to do is connect any gaps and openings that you have, because if you don't connect them, sometimes it can be a little bit harder to get it all up in one piece. But not only that, you will have gaps in your water. Now, if you want gaps in your water, then don't close these gaps here like this. Leave those open if you want it to have some separation. But I don't, because I just like my waterfalls to be a little bit more durable. And having all of them connected definitely helps with that. Uh-oh. Now I see that I need to add a little bit more here and here just to make my job easier, because why work harder? And you can just add a little bit more water effects. Okay, and now that I have it the way I want, I'm going to go over it one more time without breaking halfway up. I'm going to make the lines from the base all the way up to the top, so that it all has these rushing water lines in them that look long and continuous. And so from here, all this has to do is set for about 24 hours. Now this is a little bit thicker, so I might need to let it set for 36, and we will move on to step 2. All right, you guys, so it has been about 2 days, and the area where I poured this on a little bit thicker still needs some time to dry, but look at how easily this peels off of this silicone mat. I just love it. So I don't want to peel it off all the way though. I just wanted to show you guys that, like, how easily it peels, because well, you know what? Maybe I do want to peel it all the way off first, because I do need to do a test run before I get ready to do this next thing that I'm going to show you guys. And I'll need to make sure I cut off any excess. So I think this whole side piece can come off. And this side piece can come off as well. That is actually going to be a good fit right there. I am pretty much covered from corner to corner where I want to be. Now I'm going to take this back out because this still is not done yet. And now I'm going to take my realistic water and pour it over this waterfall. This is supposed to strengthen it and make it that much more durable. So Rebecca, one of my platinum members, actually sent me this tip to try. So thank you so much, Rebecca, for doing that. Rebecca was actually the one that you guys saw in the interview that we did. So I am going to try out this technique that she shared with me, and it sounded so cool that I was like, well, it's worth trying to at least see. I'm just gonna lightly pour some resin over this and then let that sit and dry for another 24 hours. I think I'm gonna need a brush to kind of brush this into place. Oh my goodness gracious. I wasn't even on I didn't realize I didn't move my camera down for you guys to see me actually pouring this. Sorry about that. I was just lightly pouring it on there. Now I'm just gonna take this paintbrush and lightly spread this over all of the waterfall to make sure I've got coverage. So I'm gonna come back and check on this in another 24 hours and then get it all set in place. And I'm excited to try this. There's a little excess right there, so I could just move this to a different part. All right. So we shall see how this dries. And I'm gonna wipe this off right now with a wet rag so that I don't have to peel that up later. All right, guys, so it has been a full 2 days since I poured the resin on, oops. Since I poured the resin on top of this waterfall, it did make it a lot more sturdy and durable for sure. However, it dried very white instead of like clear, more like water. Now, this isn't a huge problem because oftentimes when water comes cascading down from a waterfall, it looks white because it's very frothy. And oftentimes I even paint streaks on my water to make it look frothy. So this is just drying this way. Now, I don't know as this continues to cure if it will eventually become more clear. I did not add anything to the resin. It was clear resin when I poured it. However, this is just the way that it's looked when it's cured. So I'm going to hang this up now. I'm going to go ahead and attach it because it's dry to the touch. But I do want to see if it's getting air from both sides, if it will eventually allow it to clear out. So we shall see. Now, normally in the past, I was always attaching the top of this waterfall to resin. Now, since I don't have a lake here at the top, I'm going to use two different adhesives. I'm going to use my trusty tried and true styro glue because this stuff dries clear, it works, and it gets tacky super fast. But I am also going to back it up with the water effects. This does dry a little bit slower, but it will give it a strong bond once it completely sets. So I'm going to use the two of these together so that I can get an immediate hold and a lasting effect at the same time. Okay, I'm also going to just put some on the back of this. All right, so I do have this in and it is a little long, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in the same shape. Just take a little across the bottom, some off from the side so that I keep that kind of loose V. And now with the water effects, I am gonna go ahead and add some of this to the bottom to create some ripples. First, I'm gonna lift this up and get it in the back. And I am taking a super stiff brush and I am going to just dab this to make it come to a point at the top so it can look like pointed ripples. The other piece of the lake. Wouldn't want that in there. All right. And then I'm just gonna set that in there. Let me talk without this in my mouth. Then I'm just setting this in here. And this will dry and hold it from the bottom. And this product will dry clear. I do see that I have some moss in there, so I'm gonna take my little nippers and go in and remove that. Now that that's done on the bottom, I'm also gonna do the same up top here and add some of this water effects to the top. And I'm going to stipple it the same way and just make it look like the water is just rushing out of there with a few initial ripples in waves. So this is what it looks like at the top. Again, this will dry clear. Actually, turning it from this angle, I can see where I missed. So I'm gonna get some in there. There we go. So this will dry clear coming out over here, and then it will come down and meet with the ripples here. All right, so the waterfall did end up drying clear, as you can see here. However, it did take about 6 days for it to finally clear out. But this is what it looks like now that it is all done. I am very happy with the way this turned out. I also really love the resin on top of the waterfall. It definitely made it more durable. And so that is it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you guys were able to learn something new from this tutorial. Thanks again, Rebecca, for sharing that extra step with me that I could share it with the rest of the group. It really did make my waterfall so much more durable. And just, if you guys do try this, just make sure you give yourself enough time for that water to dry clear, because like I said, it did take almost a week for it to completely set and dry. But I still think that it was worth it, even with the time delay, because that waterfall is just so much better to work with with the resin poured over it. So that is all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I hope you guys are preparing for the upcoming Christmas Village contest this year. If you have any questions for me, leave me a line in the comment section and I will get back with you. You can also become a member of my channel by clicking on the link in the description box of this video. It'll take you to the join tab and you can enter at the level you feel comfortable with. And don't forget to click on the notification bell, you guys, because I have started my Christmas Village. I am taping it. None of the editing is done yet, but it is in the works and those videos will be coming out to you probably in just another few short weeks. So until I see you again, stay safe, God bless you, and I will either see you Monday or Friday. Bye.